News story that we're telling you about earlier on, 9 people have now been confirmed dead from extreme weather-related incidents in the Eastern Cape. The province is among the worst affected by the cold front, which has gripped most parts of the country. Let's now get the latest information from the Eastern Cape government spokesperson, Khuselwa Rantjie, who is joining us from Newzroom. Khuselwa, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Yesterday, the statement from the Premier indicated that 7 people have lost their lives, but now that number, the death toll, has increased. What can you tell us about the other 2?
Good morning to you, Aldrin, and to your viewers. Certainly, the number has increased to about 9, with 2 more bodies that have been found in the Decolony area outside Mthatha. Currently, that is one area that has been hardest hit in the whole of the province. And also, if you look at just the OR Tambo district municipality alone, the search will continue this morning, Aldrin, for children who went missing as a bus they were traveling in was swept away by floods yesterday morning. The search was abandoned in the evening, and the rescue teams, including divers, will then be back on site this morning to continue with the rescue operation. We can also report, Aldrin, that of hundreds of people in Mthatha and in Butterworth in the Amatole municipality have been displaced and are housed at various community centers in their respective areas, and government is providing humanitarian support with the help of non-governmental organizations. Also, Aldrin, I think this morning as the rain has kind of subsided, Premier together with members of the Executive Council will be in OR Tambo to join efforts of trying to recover if there are any bodies that are still or that may still be found in that area, offer support to those teams that will be working on those operations, and also assess damages to infrastructure. We understand that the area of Decolony is along the R61 going from Mthatha towards Engcobo, and it is near Mthatha Dam. So those are some of the key issues that have somehow contributed to the extent of damage that we are experiencing in that area. As I say, assessment of infrastructure, the school health infrastructure, will continue this morning, and we're hoping that by midday we'll have a clearer picture in terms of the extent of the damage and the number of people that have been affected by this.
Okay, let's quickly go on the incident with the school bus that was swept away. We understand that 3 children were rescued, but what do we know about how this incident took place, and if at all, how many children were in that bus?
It's still unclear, Aldrin, as to what had really occurred in that specific incident. Also, the number of children that have been affected has not yet been confirmed. You would understand that it is a bus that was transporting school children from various villages to their schools, and what has been happening overnight is engagement with the school community and the villages that children were picked up at to try and understand if there are families that are reporting missing children. And with that kind of information, we're hoping to get a clearer picture in terms of how many children are we looking for exactly.
All right. And then with that said as well, Khuselwa, is this issue around the schooling, when we know that with some schools there are exams that are being written? Why hasn't the department taken a decision as yet on the suspension of schooling, considering the risks that are faced by the scholars, and now we see even with the scholar transport?
Alvin, the process that is followed within the Department of Education firstly puts the principal of the school, he has to assess understanding where the school is located, how the children get to school, it's an assessment of the risks, and thereafter a determination will be made and a recommendation made to the head office to say that on the basis of the risks that we have identified, we would like to perhaps postpone examinations, or we are recommending that children do not come to school. But I think, Aldrin, what has occurred in this case is that whilst we had the warnings, but the extent when it came on the ground of the rain really kind of took our communities by surprise. And I think it also gives us a further lesson in terms of us properly assessing conditions before we continue with our planned travel, so that we make a determination as to whether it is safe to continue or it is not safe to continue. And I must also add, Aldrin, that further assessments will be done this morning, even in terms of whether there is a need to perhaps close some schools or postpone some assessments that are being done at our schools currently, on the basis of the information that we will be getting from the ground as we continue with the assessments in terms of the damage to infrastructure, including our roads.
With the search and rescue efforts, yesterday we were speaking to the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister. It did indicate that the SANDF members have now been put on standby. As it stands currently, does the province need any more assistance, including assistance from the SANDF?
What we have done in the province, Aldrin, you'd understand that whilst the rain affected the rest of the province, but OR Tambo was the mostly affected area. So we have augmented resources in OR Tambo through resources that are coming from the Buffalo City Metro municipality. Of course, when the leadership engages with the rescue teams, then we'll begin to understand whether they require further assistance either from other parts of the province or our neighboring provinces, because sometimes we do those joint efforts mainly with your KZN, if we are talking about the belt of OR Tambo and Alfredo, where we would assist each other in terms of our rescue operations. At this stage, there has been no indication as to a need for additional support, either through those other districts in the province or our other provinces, as well as the SANDF. But that determination will be made as the day continues.
Thank you so much. Khuselwa Rantjie is the spokesperson for the Eastern Cape government. We will be in conversation